Hi everyone, and welcome to today's TV4Education live session where I take you through some of the resources that we have on TV4Education on a particular subject. Today's subject is medieval history for secondary school students. So if you're a secondary school teacher and you think that this content will be appropriate for you and your students, or maybe one of your colleagues and their students, make sure to stay tuned so you can see all of the content I have to show you. So before I get started, I'll just remind you to hit the subscribe button on our channel, as well as to ring the bell button so you can be notified whenever we go live and you don't miss anything. If you do miss anything, all of our live sessions are uploaded to the channel afterwards, so you can always go back there and see all the content that you need. You can also check out our description so you can see all of the resources that we have available. There's links to our social media, our help articles, as well as our website, and a link to our Facebook community user group where you can connect with other users as well as us. And also, if you have any suggestions for any topics you would like me to cover in these sessions where I show you resources on TV4Ed, you can either pop them in the chat to my right if you're watching live, or if you're watching afterwards, you can put them in the comments and I will add them to my list and I will get them to you as soon as I can. So with all that being said, I'll take you to my screen and I'll show you some of the resources that we have on this topic. So as always, we start just on the TV4Ed home screen with the different categories. So we have the recently added, which is all the most recently added content. So you can scroll through here if you like, or click view all and see if there's anything relevant to you. You can go to Learning Tube, which is curated content by our TV4Ed team that is all educational and curriculum based and is usually shorter form content. You can go to documentaries and see if you can find some documentaries or movies related to medieval history, or you can search YouTube and our lessons as well, which I'll take you through later. But if you do want to be specific, it's best to go to the smart search bar up here and just search for whatever it is that you're looking for, whether that's a particular item or just a subject. You can also do a subject search here. See where my cursor is here on the right. If you click subjects, if you go to HAS, you can go to history and you can go to medieval history here, and you can click that, and then everything coming up here is everything that has been tagged with medieval history in our system, and the most recent content will come first, and as you scroll down it will become older. You can also just type this into the smart search bar as well and get content that way. So if you just search from the smart search bar, it will immediately just search TV4Ed. If you want to search for lessons or YouTube, you specifically have to click on either lessons or the YouTube tab, which we'll do a bit later. But you can see I've just typed in medieval here. So it's showing me everything that has medieval in the title, in the description, or in the tags as well. So you can see here, there's some Shakespeare content, there's some content on world's greatest palaces, so medieval castles and things like that. And you can see here, this is quite a popular resource with history teachers, which is Secrets Unearthed. So this one is specifically about medieval cathedrals. So this might be something that you will want to save later and show to your students, or just look at yourself and see if it's something that you want to see. So you can always click the star button and add it to your My Items, or if you just want to share it with your students, you can click the share button here and share it with your students. So you can be more specific if you want. So let's say I just want to say medieval history. And it will be a bit more specific, so you can see History Hunters here is quite a popular series with those teaching upper primary and lower secondary. So if you're teaching lower secondary, you can add that to your items as well. You can see Secrets of the Castle here if you are specifically studying the cathedrals and the castles of the medieval period. This is something again that would be a good resource for you. You can also narrow it down more. So this is doing a smart search, like as I said before, it searches the description, the tags, and the title. If you want to be a bit more specific, you can click title here, and you can search just by the title. So it's only searching for things now with medieval in the title. So you can see the Secrets Unearthed series that I showed you before. It's higher up now because all the other things without medieval in the title are now gone. So once again, it searches from the most recent content. So all the most recent things will come up first. So This is an episode of Time Team here, which once again is a very requested series by a lot of our history teachers. So you can add that to your My Items as well, and you can see there's an episode of Filthy Cities here, specifically on medieval London. So if your students are in the period where they're studying medieval London, that might be a great resource as well. You can see also Britain's Most Historic Towns. This is another extremely popular city amongst history teachers. So in doing this, you might actually find some series that you like. So you can see this episode of Time Team here, and you might wonder, is there any other episodes of Time Team available? And you can just search. So I've done a title search again, so it's only searching for things with Time Team in the title. So it will only search for the Time Team series, and you can see that we have multiple episodes of Time Team available to you. So not all of them will be medieval, but quite a few of them will be, and it might be beneficial to look at that series as well. So you can also see there was a series called Britain's Most Historic Towns. So I'll just search Britain's Most Historic, and you can see that we have several other episodes of Britain's Most Historic Towns too. So you can look through there and see if there's any other content there that is appropriate for your medieval, your students learning medieval history, or maybe you just have other history students and you think that are studying other areas of history, and this might be appropriate to show them as well, or send to another teacher that you think might get something out of this as well. So that's how you can search through the TV4Education videos for the medieval history content. I'll take you now to how to search for the YouTube and lessons content. So you can do that one of two ways. You can either go back to the home screen and go down to the YouTube and lessons sections, and you can click view all and you can search that way. Or if you're already in a search and you don't want to go back to the home screen, you can just click lessons or YouTube here, and it will take you straight to there. So I clicked YouTube here, and because I've got Britain's Most Historic already typed in here, that's what it's searching for. So you can see that there's some clips from the show there that are on YouTube that you might want to show your students. But we'll go back to just searching for medieval history and see what it comes up with. So you can see that there is a Crash Course History episode here, which is something that's quite popular once again with our users that teach history. So to save it to your My Items or share it with your students works exactly the same way. You can just click the star button here, or you can share it directly with your students here. You can see that there is a documentary here on the Timeline channel, which once again is something that is quite well used with teachers that use TV4Education for the YouTube content, because they want to have the YouTube content play from a blank screen so the students can't see the ads or the comments. So they want to be able to play it to their class without the ads or comments, or send it to their students without the ads or comments. The Timeline channel on YouTube is something that is quite often used by the history teachers that use TV4Ed for YouTube content. So you can see there's a lot of different content here that you can choose from. Just like with the TV4Ed search, you can be as specific or non-specific as you want. So I can just type medieval if I want. I can say medieval for kids and see what comes up, and see if there's anything appropriate there. Once again, you can see that this is another YouTube video on castles, and that might be something that your students are learning, so you can add that to your My Items as well. So searching through YouTube is just as easy as searching through TV4Ed. It's just as easy to add everything to your My Items and to share it with your students. It's just on a different platform. So we have regular YouTube and curated YouTube. Curated YouTube is the same as regular YouTube. It's just that all the content there has been curated by the TV4Ed team, so it's all curriculum based and educational, so there's nothing inappropriate or distracting for the students there, whereas regular YouTube is just everything that is currently available on YouTube. So now we'll go back to searching for lessons. So I'll just type medieval in here and I'll click lessons, and you can see because I'm already in the middle of a search, it is just automatically searching for all the lessons that have medieval in the title. So you can see we've got a few different lessons here. You can see this one here, this one's blue, so this is a resource list. This is on medieval knights and Japanese samurai, so it's drawing comparisons between the two. So you can add that to your My Library, and then once it's added to your My Library, you can go to your My Items, and then you can view the resource list there. So we have three different kinds of smart lessons. We have resource lists, which are blue, video lessons, which are green, and then the study guides, which are purple. So the main ones for this session will be the video lessons and the resource lists. Resource lists are just all the resources in this lesson will be based on whatever topic it is. So it'll be a combination of YouTube videos, TV4Ed videos, links to articles or websites, as well as PDF files. There's an assortment of content there. And you can also see the description of what's in the lesson, and you can see that this is for Year 8, which is typically when in the curriculum students learn about medieval history first. So this would be relevant towards your Year 8s that are learning medieval history. And then you can see here, we've got one on the Magna Carta here. So this is a video lesson. So this will contain about 3 to 5 TV4Ed videos, as well as maybe YouTube videos, and about 5 to 10 questions based on those videos as well. So this is something that your students can do in class. If they're watching the documentaries in this video lesson in class and they're paying attention as they're going along, they can hear one of the answers to one of the questions in the documentary, and they can answer it as they're watching. So you can add that to your library as well, and then you can view it in your My Items, and also share it with your students. You can also, once you've added all these to your My Items, you can edit them as well. So if you want to change some of the questions around, or you want to add your own resources in, you can do that. You can also build them from scratch as well. If you just go in the top left here, go down to Smart Classrooms, and then you can go Create Lesson, and you can create your own lesson. Or you can use one of our pre-made ones, or you can edit one of our pre-made ones, or you can request that we make one for you if you would like. If you just want some general content on medieval history, you can request that, and we'll send you some TV4Ed videos. If you specifically want a resource list, you can request that. If you specifically want a video lesson, you can also request that by going to your mailbox, going to TV4Ed requests, and then if you select a topic request, you can request that content with us. Or if there's any content that's airing on Free2Air Foxtel that's based on medieval history, you can go ahead and request that for us as well. So you can see we have another medieval resource list here. This one's on medieval crime and punishment. So this one can be used for both studying medieval history in Year 8, or also for Year 9 that are studying crime and punishment in history. If you are in some classes studying this particular period in time for crime and punishment. You can also see there is another medieval history lesson on the Black Death, which is definitely something that is studied when you are studying medieval history, was a big part of that era. So you can add that to your My Items as well. So if you want to go and look at your My Items, we'll see all of the content that we have just added. So I'll just go to My Items here. And I can see all the content that I've just added. So you can see all of the TV4Ed videos I've just added here, as well as the YouTube video, and then all of the lessons here. So the videos work the same way they do if you're just searching through TV4Ed. You just click on them and they automatically play, and you can also send them to your students from there. So I'll click on some of the resource lists and the video lessons we have so you can have a look. So you can see here, this resource list is full of both TV4Ed videos and YouTube videos. So this is great if you just want to send this to your students and have the link expiry to the end of the year, so they can view this for the rest of the year, and this can just be a resource that they can pull from if they're studying and they just want to study up on some extra things, or if they're doing their assignments and they just want some extra content to see what else they can add to their assignment. They can go here and they can watch through all of these and see if there's anything that is of use to them. Same thing with the medieval crime and punishment lesson. As you can see here, this one is videos as well, so you can see, they can go in and see if there's anything relevant to them and their assignments when they're studying crime and punishment in the medieval era. And then we can see our Black Death and Magna Carta video lessons. So you'll be able to see the difference now between the video lessons and the resource list. So you can see here that this lesson has 5 videos, 5 TV4Ed videos in it, and then you can see that the questions, there is 10 questions based on the videos. So they're multiple choice questions, missing word questions, and yes and no questions. So if your student is paying attention when you're showing them the documentary in class, or if they're doing it for homework, they'll be able to know what year the Magna Carta was signed, and they can type that in here. They can click the correct answer for this question: in what year did King John begin his rule? And you can also have multiple, because these are multiple choice, maybe sometimes it's not just one answer. They can click multiple if multiple are appropriate for that question. And same with the yes or no. You can just click yes or no for whichever is correct. And the same thing here, you can see the medieval history lesson on the Black Death. You can see there's about 6 videos in this lesson, along with 8 questions. Same thing as the Magna Carta lesson, multiple choice questions, missing word questions, yes and no questions. So as I said, you can edit these. You can click the bin button. If you don't like this video, you can click the bin button and you can get rid of this video. You can do the same thing with the questions. You can change the order of the questions and the videos if you would like by pressing these up and down arrows. You can edit the questions and the videos. So if you click this little edit button, I can edit the title of this video, as well as I can add a hint if I want. So I can add some kind of hint and say, please watch this video before class on Tuesday, or whatever it is that you want to tell your students. And you can do the same here. You can edit this question if you want to add more answers or less, or if you just want to edit the wording of the question. And you can also click the videos by clicking the little scissor button here. So if you like the video but you only want your students to watch 10 minutes of it, you can chapterize it, so you can cut those 10 minutes, and then your students will only see those 10 minutes that you want them to see. You can also create multiple chapters, so it will skip between the parts that you don't want them to see. So you can also edit the title and the description if you would like, and you can also add your own resources and your own questions if you would like. So to add a question, you can just click add question, and you can add a multiple choice, a yes or no, or a missing word. Or you can add your own resources as well if you would like. So if you want to add some of the resources that I was showing you before on TV4Ed and YouTube, you can go ahead and do that. Make sure you're searching in the right tab. So if you're searching for a TV4Ed video, search in here. So I'll search for Time Team. And then you can add the whatever video it was that you had before. You just click add to lesson and it will automatically add it to the lesson. Same with YouTube. So you can type in crash course history or whatever video it is you want to add, and then you can add it that way. You can also upload your own PDF files if you would like. You can paste URLs, links to articles or websites, anything like that, and add your own text if you want. And as I said, you can also build these from scratch if you want, or you can request that we do them for you. All of our existing smart lessons are created by our TV4Ed team, either based on a customer request, and after we've given it to that customer, we make it public so everyone from all different schools can see it, or they are built just based on the curriculum by our TV4Ed team, to add to our library. So that's everything I have to show you for today. All the resources on TV4Ed, YouTube, and our smart lessons as well on medieval history. So I hope you got something out of it. If any of these resources you think would be appropriate for you or your fellow teachers, make sure to show this video and get them to have a look on TV4Ed. And like I said at the beginning, make sure you're subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell button so you can be notified whenever we go live and you don't miss out. And you can be notified whenever we upload any content to the YouTube channel, so you know about all the latest content, updates, and news going on with TV4Ed. And also make sure to check out the description so you can find links to our social media, our help articles, our website, as well as our community group down there, so you don't miss out on anything. So I'll see you later on in the week for another one of these live sessions where I show you some resources on TV4Ed. If you have any requests for me, I'll leave them in the comments below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. So I hope everyone has a good day. Bye everyone.